What's up, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about Marvel Strike Force and the recent changes to Blitz. Are we getting Fox nexted again? Are they really going to do this to us even more? Look, we're going to find out here in a second. I'm going to give a long, no, I'm not. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to tell you what we think. Summation? Looks like they did the community pretty solid.
Bring me WolverThor!
Alright, first, for those of you who might have missed it, Blitz has changed. You probably didn't miss it, but in case you did, we got new rewards. So, obviously the Red Star Blitzes in the past have been around. The change, which is apparently here to stay, is we've got new rank tiers. There's no number 1, there's no number 15, there's no top 2,000. I know it used to be 1 to 2%, then I think 3 to 6. We'll go over that in a second. But there's less tier brackets to get rewards. And we've got a different number of shards here that we got rewards. But there are the red star rewards with this, where it's a 4 red for whatever character, which is okay. It's not something that you're going to necessarily go hard for, but it's something. 100 shards, all right, that's cool, but it's like, well, it's the exact same as 1%. So think about this for a second. You're a blitzer, and you're wanting to go, okay, this is how I make up shards. And you look at 1 to 100 versus 1%, you're like, I just want to be top 1% if I want shards. If you really want that one extra red star, okay, fine, you can get the top 100, and that's really what this is going to end up being about, is if you want one additional red star on a character, then push for top 100. Let's see the difference there. 20%, 35%. So if you want that extra 15% stat boost that you don't already have, and don't want to spend 50 promotion credits, then you're going to spend whatever amount of time it takes you to go from top 1% to top 100 ranking. Number 1, number 15, doesn't matter. That's it. This is what you get, okay? Now the old ones, we'll look at that real quick, because luckily I still have Hell Hydra in here, and you can see number 1 got 295 shards, 2 through 15, 165, and then the 100 mark was this 110. Then top 2,000 got 85. And then there was this 1 to 2%, which was 55. But now the top 1% gets 100 shards. So you're guaranteed those 100 shards if you get top 1%. And then these breakdown, bottom 3 were pretty much the same. But these 3 or 4 these 3 mid ones were broken up a little bit different. The other part that you might not have noticed is the milestones. Previously, there were 14 milestones. Okay, and you got the Blitz charges, credits, gold, and shards and radials. But there were 14 milestones. I don't remember exactly what the point total here was, but I do think it was around the 700,000 mark. And we're going to look at this in a spreadsheet, of course, in a second as well. But if you stay in game here, when I first saw this, I was kind of like, oh, okay. You come down here and it's like 20 milestones. Oh, that's awesome. More stuff. But is it? Is it? Quick answer is no. It's the exact same. And I even think the points are the exact same, so I don't know if this is just a setup for potentially Fox or Scopely to do something different to maybe increase something here. But right now it's the exact same amount of milestones, so it's kind of interesting. So let's go jump over to a spreadsheet. Okay, so this was the old rewards in the spreadsheet. Like I said, I've got these cutoffs here. The winner got 295. Nobody got any red stars. That's throughout the board. 15 gets the 165, 100, 110. You get the point, right? So the next part is the number of players that we were looking at, because really what we want to know is how are we affected as a community, and then what part of that community was potentially affected. So that's what I'm looking at here, and this is what Scopely should have done when they were analyzing whether to do this and determine what is the overall impact to the community. If they didn't do this, I have an hourly fee that you can send me. I need to pay rent. Kids got stomachs. They got to eat. Shoes. Anyway, back on topic. So we got the number of players here. One is obvious, 14. You know, and you see top 100, I just subtract the ones ahead of it. And then, 2,000, that's pretty simple. But once you get to the 1 to 2%, there is an assumption about how many people are actually blitzing. There was some interpolation on this. Ended up landing at the 300,000 mark for blitzing based on what some of the results were and where people, meaning like if somebody said they got top 2% and they ranked, 15 or 5,000 or something along those lines, right? So it was like, okay, so that you kind of start figuring out where that might be. So if that is off course, then these shards change a little bit, but ultimately they're going to change for both old and new rewards. So we ended up getting 4,000 for the 1 to 2%, 9,000 for the 3 to 5, 15,000, 6 to 10, 45,000, 105,000, 120,000, and then I just had this at the bottom to do my check to make sure if I had some sort of formula problem, it's late, I have a long work day, putting the kids to bed. Sometimes the brain doesn't function that well at night when I'm looking at numbers. So that gave me my overall number of players, and then what I have is the total community shards rewarded. And it's a simple just number of players times the number of rewards. So we had, in this group, Scopely was giving us 4.623455 million shards of whatever character we were looking at. Obviously, it was dispersed amongst all these different people based on what your rank was, but they were handing out that many shards of a character. So then the question is, okay, well, where are we at when we get to the new? All right, simple enough. So we scroll back up over here, and here's where you see the players blitzing 300,000. You got the new ranks, again, with the new rewards. Red stars, that's brand new, so anything there is what you get. And you get the shards. Like I said, 100 for rank top 100, 100 if you get the 1%, which should be around the 3,000-ish mark. So if I'm not mistaken, based on obviously the 300,000 mark, but as that number goes up and down, obviously that changes. And then the 2 to 3, you get it, right? So we've got a number of shards based on these percent cutoffs, and then we've got the number of players, same format, same formula that we had below, where you're figuring out the number of players in that specific range. So 21,000 should be getting the top 10%. With 21,000 should be getting that rewards, and then this plus this is what you got there, and that's what exactly 30,000. And then again, I had the math check here just to make sure, and I had the other column which gave me my total community shards rewarded. So that way I could kind of figure out where I was at. And again, it was like, okay, so I had all these different things, which I got 4.879 million, which if you remember what I just said, it was higher than this. So let's zoom out a little bit here. All right. So in the new rewards, we got 4.8. The old rewards, we got 4.6. Great. We got more rewards. We got more shards. Couldn't believe it, but that's actually what happened. Specifically, got the math here of 256,000 more shards for the community for this Blitz method, which is fantastic. In my mind, it's like, great. That's awesome. I want more rewards. So the question ends up being, where do we get these rewards from? What's it coming from? So when you look at this, I kind of color coded a little bit where previously the top 100 were these blue. It was, what is that total? 11,955. Now the top 100 gets 10,000. So that top 100 loses 1,900 shards. Okay. And as you can quickly see here in the rest of this, the red, you got the 243 before it was the difference between the red up here and the red down there is an additional 243,000. And then with the white, it's an additional 15,000. The yellows were the same. So again, in the red up here, we got 243 more thousand. And that's really where all the shards are at. Everybody in the top 1 to 3% is the people who are benefiting the most from this. Those people are getting more shards. The top 100 are getting less shards. The 11 to 100% group, they're the exact same. The 4 to 10% are getting 15,000 more shards. That's it. That's where this dispersal came from. So anybody who was grinding for the top 100 and really needed that for their shards to build up their characters, those are the people who are going to be mad. Everybody in the top 1 to 3%, the top 1 to 10%, they're going to be happy. The top 11 to 100%, they probably didn't care that much anyway, so they still don't care. Honestly, whoever evaluated this for Scopely probably did a really good job, because the way they looked at this, and I know this is going to piss off the top 100 Blitz players, but they're going to go, we've got, let's see, we've got how many players here? We're going to make roughly 30,000 players happy, and potentially, I guess maybe the top 15 players mad, because or let's just say 20 players mad, because those are 20 to 25 players. Those are the people grinding for that top 15 spot. Whereas the other 85 in the top 100, they probably don't care. So you're talking about basically making 30,000 people happy versus 30 mad. I mean, it's a business decision, and frankly, if I was the person running this business, I would have made the exact same decision. It makes sense. You're going to make that many more people happy while pissing off maybe 15 to 10 people, maybe. The other factor in that is obviously the quality of life. Because now, with the charges, you can only do this without paying 8 times a day, which is 16 hours. So it's kind of like, okay, now you've got to evaluate, what am I going to do this for? And you look at it, it's like, I have no incentive to do this outside of an additional 15% on a red star. So the reason the Blitz high is gone, in my opinion. It is gone. You don't need it. If you really want that last one, fine, go for it. But you're going to get people going. It's really going to, the part you're going to start seeing is the top 2% to the 1% cutoff. So those top 3,000 people, that's where you're going to, or 3,100 people, depending where it's at, that's where people are going to want, because they're going to want 100 shards instead of 55. So that's maybe where you see a difference as far as where the blitzing goes. But I still don't think the numbers are going to be crazy to get there. We'll see. The community is going to dictate it. We didn't do predictions because we didn't know what the percent cutoffs were going to be. And so it's kind of like, how do you do predictions on, you don't even know where everything's going to fall in at. So we got it, and it's kind of like, okay, this is interesting. And then now as I sit here and analyze it, I'm going, what's the motivation? You know, it's 45 shards for, in my mind, to get from, instead of 2 to 3%, 1%. So I don't know. I personally love it mainly from a quality of life standpoint. It's kind of like, I am not going to stress about blitzing at all. I'll figure out how I keep getting 1% if I can, and try to fall within that range. You know, I don't know how many points we're getting because those are also adjusted. So the larger collection powers, that's not necessarily going to play, allegedly, as much of a role. So the last thing I want to look at is, let's check out the milestone different totals. So like I mentioned, the new ones, they've got 20 overall milestones. The old ones had 14. So I went through here and looked at how many, I broke them up into the milestones based on the rewards they got. There were 3 tiers essentially in the old ones. There's only 2 in the new ones outside of the raid and shards adjusting. So I just did the quick math in there and kind of was like, all right, there's 200 in the new one. There's 240 Blitz Orb credits, or whatever you want to call them, fragments, times 10, and same thing with 11 through milestone 11 through 20. You get 245 of the Blitz Orb fragments. So between the two of them, you get 4850. What did you get before? 4850. All right, so I can go through the same thing in the math of the Blitz credits. You got 2750. Same thing as before. Gold, again, it's the same thing through all the new milestones for 310,000 gold. Guess what? It's the exact same. Shards, exact same. Raid heals, exact same. So there's 6 more milestones, but you get the exact same rewards. So you still want a milestone and chill. The only thing I wasn't sure of is the total points needed to get through the 14 milestones previously. I didn't have a picture. It was late. I need to get to bed soon, so I wasn't gonna go digging for it necessarily. I know somebody's probably gonna know this. You know, I've got the description the link to the Discord in the description below. Come by, let me know. I'd love to fill this in and share. But either way, I think it's still pretty easy to do milestones and chill. So, you know, you're gonna definitely get 750,000 to make sure you get that top 1%, but it's obviously gonna be way higher than that. So that's what we got. Frankly, I'm pretty happy. I wasn't sure what to expect from this, from Scopely. I thought maybe we were going to get hosed or something was going to be hidden in fine detail or something, and there's not. I mean, am I missing something? I don't think I am. The formulas all make sense. I did a back check on the numbers. Even if you increase the Blitz players playing, you know, it's percentage based, so the players are going to adjust equally. You know, the shards are going to adjust, and maybe they go up and down a little bit, but it's formulaic and it's all based on percentages. So I don't know, you know what I mean? So I think the general concept's still going to apply regardless of how many players that I'm really. And actually, let's just do it. Let's just. Okay, so you know, there's a the more players you get, the more obviously shards you hand out. But you know, they go up total. So. You know, that's really it. And you know, and you're just looking at the number of players between that and where it lands. So anyway, you get the idea. So hopefully this helped you guys determine if you really want to blitz hard or not. My answer to that is I don't think there's a point anymore. I mean, again, 45 shards more is helpful and nice. You could also potentially get that from opening 1 or 2 or 3 orbs from when these characters come around for, you know, 1,000 cores or 1,200 cores. Now you could also get 12 shards, but you know, if you get a 20 drop or 45 drop, you're done. It's like, all right, I already made up for it. So if you fight hard in arena or, you know, buy cores or whatever you might want to do, you're saving time. So I still think this is anti-blitz or anti-botting for the blitzes. I love it, and I think overall this is a good quality of life change for Scopely. So thumbs up to you guys, unless somebody from the community is going to come to my Discord or in the comments below and tell me I'm wrong. And please do if I am, because I would love to redo this video and say, hey, I was wrong. Well, maybe not love. But anyway, you guys get the point. I'm jabbering. Appreciate you stopping by. Until next time, don't forget to hammer on that like button. Hope you have a wonderful day.